that you signed it?
Yeah, it was in the.
Probably knows right now.
Right, yeah.
We're on.
Yeah. I was going to, it was like more weeks. 4 years ready for me.
There he is.
No, I mean.
Everybody is sick.
Used to hate that, there was 2 months or so. Working on kids.
Put your hands on. That used to be it. It's wrong. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's going to be the
I
last.
think so.
We can, we could have trouble about it.
Well, yeah, what are you gonna do? All right, 5:30 on the dot. I will call the regular City of White Lakes Council meeting for Monday, September 8th to order. Roll call please.
Counselor Grant,
Here.
Counselor Jarvis. Here. Hackman.
Here.
Matheson. Here. Mayor Scott.
Here.
Warren.
All right, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alrighty, moving on to the consent agenda. Has everybody had a chance to read through that? Any comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Counselor Graham, second from Counselor Jarvis. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on to the guests and citizens forum. Is there any residents that have anything to say or questions or anything?
Hearing none, we'll move on to Johan and Fan.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like we folks had our presentation, or information to go over, so you're free to, stand at the podium, the mic doesn't work, so, or it doesn't turn on, so it's just used for show.
Nice to meet everybody, Johan Kular, and I'm working on the Aurora grocery store project currently, and we decided to work on a new extension in Hoy Lakes in the old bowling alley. Before you is the estimated project, a little introduction, build out timeline. So, we'll have deli shipped straight from Aurora every morning, and then we'll carry stable groceries to increase access here. Breads, meats, eggs, milk, staples.
How
Now,
much of the store will you be using?
with the bowling alley,
Or you're not gonna put it in this grocery store part?
no, it won't be in the old IGA, it will be in the bowling alley.
What's going to be in the IGA then?
We have some storage plan, very soon, future plans there. And coming couple of years. Childcare. And some childcare. Opportunities and. Any questions or?
So looking at your, timeline, I know everything takes a while. What's your estimated timeline for when you might be able to open?
We're very dependent on the Aurora grocery store,
Okay.
so that's estimated. That's hopefully before Thanksgiving, fully operational. And that's we'll be shipping daily from the deli and the product. Will be dependent on it, but the build out should be pretty quick, really not too digitally dependent on this, but 8-10 week build out, maybe 9.
Okay.
You guys purchased the buildings already then? We're working on it, it's our only sweetie family.
So the Aurora thing is a for sure now? The grocery store?
So we were in the HR meeting today. We signed our contracts, we have our keys. We're full force. Across the street here, we don't want to just do Aurora alone on our upgrades. We went ahead to move forward quicker and advance faster than the Hydro for our team wanted us to do and Aurora wanted us to do. So we went and bypassed them and we're gonna settle fund as far as bowling. Now, we go, sir, I am in talks with the realtor. We are negotiating, we submit an offer today. They will have it 7, and I'll talk to John afterwards, and I want to see what John has, how he feels about it. The deli, the small deli will be built inside the bowling alley. We'll try to keep some bowling alley lanes restored to have some activities. After our activities, we'll try to make as much room as we can. So you gotta know, we have the parking lot now. We need to figure out where we're gonna do moving forward. I'm also in talk with Mary from the Ben Franklin. We should work something out here in the coming months. Unfortunately, we can't build both towns simultaneously. But we can at least prep Point Lakes and get that deli up as soon as possible, even if we have to work during the winter times. To get that small deli up for you guys here in the city, so. As far as Aurora goes, we do offer anyone over 62 free delivery during the winters. And if you can prove that you were disabled, we will also deliver you within 50-mile radius of the grocery store. We also have a planned program where if you use Wix, SNAP, or any other government assistance, not only you get the food, you also get a 10% discount on everything else that's not covered under Wix, or shampoos, everything shampoos, soap, paper, whatever, the whole item thing will also be at a 10% discount. Yeah, meat imported weekly fresh beef from Oklahoma and produce from California farms. and the farms of the country coming into Aurora weekly with our trucks. I'm sure everybody here heard what our issue was with Aurora. I know who they blamed. And apparently we got it resolved today, luckily. So we do have the keys. We are moving forward. We could not move forward without those keys and some form of agreement in place in Aurora. So now we do have it, it is finalized as of today, as of 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
So you've got a contract with the city for the Union Hall?
Yes, sir. We finished the Aurora access first, and then we gave them until November 1st to write up our lease agreement or purchase order or purchase of the building, either or. But the previous group had that we wanted the same contract with the previous group, which is Nashua. Group that came in and failed. So they got a dollar lease until they open to a certain amount of time, and then the building will be assigned to them. In today's meeting, to Johan and I, we didn't care. We just wanted the market open. We want our lakes open. We want this to work now. We didn't have this project for 8 weeks. It should have taken 5. But here we are. We gave Point Lakes is well more advanced. I gave an ultimatum that I will stop Aurora progress and open Point Lakes. We can try to open Point Lakes, leaving everything out in literally 2 or 3 weeks to have it open again. But unfortunately, Point Lakes doesn't get that opportunity now, so Aurora will add that, but we will do that mini market here for you guys. So when you need multiple things, then you can go to Aurora Market here, staples, cheese, milk, small produce selection, fresh beef, and our daily soup. Everything else will be open as long as we keep that only alley open, which probably at 11 p.m. For folks around here can, if they need a sandwich or they need some kind of hot food, they can get it from here. That's our plan. I know a lot of people on my lakes are really curious what's going on over there, why we're in there, we're mediating the mold. For next spring, because unfortunately we can't build simultaneously and we don't have very limited time now for the cold kids here. I was hoping we could do both if we had signed the contracts 4 weeks ago in Aurora, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So right now, Point Lakes will wrap up the remediation and we'll button her up until, the winter comes. So we're gonna do what we can to secure as much and save as much as we can there. That alleyway that's been shut off, and then the actual barber shop and dentist shop there. We plan to take a part of the IGA, open that up and open a daycare and after school program for folks that do work and the kids have to go home, they can actually drop them there. That depends on, how many kids we take, depends on the state. We will probably apply for funds from the state for some healthcare, and I'm sure it's needed here in the region. If we do get Ben Franklin, then we'll think about other issues that we can put together and put it in place. But as far as the rest of it goes, we have warm storage plan for folks that actually don't have to drag their trailer from the lake all the way home to the store. They can just leave store here all year. And when they come to Sunday, just explore from here to the lake. Boats, and we have waiting lists already started without actually any plans in place, but I'm sure it'll be profitable and it should have returns. As of right now, our corporation is so focused on Aurora, we need the city's help to help plow this winter. I'm sure I can talk to other businesses to help with the plowing. I know Dean had the grass cut. So thank you. I don't know, what the city had the grass cut, I appreciate that. Sharon's concern when we're transferring over is that I told her I would take over everything. Any hot-lakes issues will be addressed to Johan and our corporation in the market in Aurora. So if there's issues here, any upcoming issues, tax payments would be then forwarded to us and we take care of it. So if there's outstanding taxes, any complaints, any issues that the building needs addressed, we will go ahead and address it. So as of right now, the business insured $2 million in case of fire, burn, anything else that happens. So as today. But yeah, I'm open for any questions, how stuff's gonna happen, how quickly, yes, we believe probably the complete tear down will be if things go well, maybe with your guys' help, November next, November 26th, right before the snowfalls, or October, not, we'll work until the snowfalls next year, so we should have everything open and all our equipment in there to set up. It should be fairly quick to just have a warm storage to be built. The childcare will definitely is one of my priorities as soon as the snow melts in March, April. We want that, I want that childcare, and we, our company wants that child. Then ask for, you know, when the employees. So as far as small market go, yeah, we've got dual use for bowling alley. I'll leave up to the council and the city to decide what they can help us with. I know you guys didn't have the opportunity to see the paperwork that went into Aurora. But our margins are very slim, but we probably very slim here now, so if you guys, there's a few requests that can help us make the transition easier. For the first couple of years, so we get started. To get everything up and going without being without the corporation pressure to where we're gonna find this money to pay random bills off or tax bills or anything else we have. So we'll write a more complete profile, but as of today, we wanted to introduce ourselves and since we've already did it with us, we're full steam ahead today, as of today. For today, we had no idea if we're gonna get them or what was the case, or we're gonna walk away and this meeting had been totally different than a whole holidays supermarket. So that's where we stand now, so I'm actually thrilled that we did finish today, we did come to conclusion with AO. So yeah, Hope Point Lakes will help join it, and that's, I grew up in this community, well, not Hard Lakes, but I grew up in Aurora. And most of the folks in Hard Lakes and Aurora, I either know them, or one of my family members know them, or their kids, I know their parents. So that's what most everybody in high school, everywhere else, so hope we can give back. Meaning make a serious impact or what's needed here. We have bigger plans for 27 and 28 build, which would be a beef processing plant for export. That should bring between 300 to 500 jobs. We're still debating on where we're gonna do it. And room that can store many people, trucking needs to come in and out, containers need to come in and out. And those trucking, we still debate from our rail to the west coast and east coast, so. Exports to Europe will be sent to the east coast. And exports of beef to Asian markets will be on the west coast. But once again, that's gonna take tremendous amount of time and effort to come together and get these jobs here. And this is livable wages where you can raise a family, buy a home, one person working. That's where we stand, that's our future plans. Johan's my protege. He's young, but he's our future. He did he interned for a year with our corporation. I've been retired for 6 years now, so I've been out of the game, but I'm willing to mentor Johan to get all this done and get all this open. I mean, he might have hiccups or whatever he's doing. He always has myself or a couple other folks to fall back on to get advice. If the seeking, I spoke to Dean a little while, a little bit, and got out of grass. I mean, our ask for what help we need, it's just on that temporary, for the first few years, for us to get growing and started. That everything's going, people actually walking over there again. And we have, once childcare is there, we can address playgrounds, we can address after school drop offs, we can address all that. Everything needs money, we have limited funds to do everything, but those are actually our goals. Completing in 2028. So I'm open for questions, I'm there's open for questions.
Did I hear you say you were talking to Mary?
The pharmacist,
Yeah, were you planning on buying that?
we're in negotiations.
What are your expectations with the drugstore portion? Pharmacy? Are you gonna keep the store open or market?
Unfortunately, no.
So you're
I spoke with Mary, she has another 2 years. On her agreement with Thrifty White. I stated that I would build a full pharmacy in our market in Aurora and a mini pharmacy here, just to handle the folks here. So she'll be here 1 day a week, but we also have delivery service. So if there's folks that can't get to her, we will deliver to them. So yeah, the plans are to simplify everything in one location, which is centralized, because right now, my understanding is by Waback, Aurora. I know the Waback might have them in pharmacy, but I know Hardwick needs theirs. You'll still have it, it'll just be a mini version of the pharmacy. I mean, I'm speculating, we still have to negotiate with Thrifty White. They still have to accept our offer with it, which I think will make it pretty generous to them to move the whole pharmacy here into our store in Aurora at the Union Hall. But Mary and I still have some stuff in there. I mean, we don't want to back up for Ben Franklin. The only thing that's keeping the market up is just pharmacy. Once we close that down, I mean, once again, there's still issues there, so finding that budget, there's still negotiations to do. So I'm hoping that I've been here for about 2 weeks just watching everything. I see a lot of elderly folks trying to get in, walk in there. This way, let's do the same. Drive to Aurora, they have once a week, they come here, Mary will be here. Or this, like I said, still negotiation with the said one location I had to, just a small one. Then there's also getting much smaller for the bunch there now. That's nothing of that is in concrete. Mary has, we just touch bases on what's going on, my thoughts and feelings for her thoughts and feelings for. She was hoping to go the 50 bikes was to go there. And then I would take this before May, the whole shopping center, and I'll big old shopping center.
Question on the council, have any questions?
Appreciate you guys keeping us informed. I mean, we have a lot of community members asking what's going on, and then they asked us, and like, we're not really sure, so it's nice to have communication open and get an update.
We have an info email at info@mainstreetmarketmn.com. So if anybody's welcome, we'll get a Facebook page open to inform each staff, have pictures of each staff, and so everybody can feel involved. Like I said, we're relying on a lot of volunteers, we're relying on a lot of, this maximum budget to go in the little cities where we're only expecting to one, now we want our next two, because sometimes they find legs, so we're now doing both. We committed to both. But once again, that stretches our budget. So you can, if the city can help us out, if you can, you'll have a proposal written up. I know, tend to, keep grants or anything like that, or I'm sure we can work something out where the city won't be too impacted by our ask. As for right now, our ask is very small. We actually be patient while we build Aurora. We actually be patient while we get the mini deli out, and then we can get from there and start from there. The mini deli and the just should happen pretty quickly. As long as they accept the sweetness system I offer, put that in, that take 30 days to close or whatever, however long it takes to close, but we should have some formal contract with this. We're going on it.
When you say you're looking for help, or what exactly would you be expecting the city to do?
Well, like I said, plowing's one thing, we can't even connect power that's been cut to the pole. And there are some plots there, grass, I know it's been mowed, but you know, we're coming on winter, so that's not a problem. I don't know what property taxes are owed or due, but I will look that up. If we get forbearance on some of that till we actually open and. We were willing to say this is what we have to. I know you guys are anxious to collect your property taxes. You know, put people to work here. Have the daycare, the childcare here, all this is, and we can build it up fairly quickly. Our team can build pretty much anything up fairly quickly. And then that gives us constraint, the more we spend, the more we have to pass along to the consumer. So if the city can unburden us with some deferment of some utilities, now, you know, near future, the plow fees, a lot more of the grass cutting fees. You know, we have, we want to be at least beautify the area before the water carnival next year. That's one of our goals, to have all sand, and at least the building painted before the water carnival. Some respectable, you know. Frontage there. Once again, we're not sure where we're at yet, and we just today found out Aurora who does. We know our budget constraints. We just really, we bypassed the IRB. We were not getting grants from them, we bypassed Aurora's grants. So, I mean, that 60,000 now gone, which is already budgeted for other things. So we're going this alone. So everything's been bypassed. All our grants been bypassed because we don't want to be slowed down. I'm sure the folks won't be slowed down either. So we went ahead and we canceled all our grants. And we're running this alone. So it's to save our legs. As everybody heard, we've been in tussle with Aurora for the last 6 weeks. Around 6 weeks, we tussle them to get this finish wrapped up. Today is the day where, yeah, it's either you approve it today or we go to Hoy Lakes, and I talked to you this, we discussed with this council that, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Then I told Aurora the very first day, if you guys step on my way, let our team go to work. If you're done, you know, we'll finish, and then we can negotiate, or we can come back and look at contingency on, okay, we need this, and this. Well, right off hand, we don't need any of our assistance to complete this. But we do ask, you know, some give back so we can keep some of the savings to the, you know, the community here. That's all our ask is. I'm sure everyone's more than that. I don't know. We put it all together probably because we gave up Aurora's grants, we gave it to other grants. You guys can find probably about 170, 180, somewhere along the lines, just to set the bills that we might have. That'll help move us along a little bit quicker. And, you know, so we don't have to be open for business to collect those funds to put back in. But we can actually just go ahead and move forward. But rest assured, our package is well detailed. We line item everything. What we're doing. And what bills we line item for works. I believe Dean has one package. That we went and canceled from IRB. Pretty much details on our operation. So you guys know that you projects will get the exact same package but in a different format specifically for here. So you guys will see Aurora go up first and operating and working before Hoy Lakes gets here, but I'm hoping to get that data as soon as possible. Within, you know, a few months after Aurora. So we're figure factor in November, Aurora. October, we're gonna be open for the soft opening, which you are invited, which is just. Just to run our systems, test our systems, and then our soft opening, and then our final tweak of our systems, and then the general opening of the supermarket. Early December, mid-December, and then hopefully in January, February, this deli will be opening. And then with 1 week soft opening with VIPs and everybody else that's coming there. And running our systems, checking our systems, make sure everything's correct. How much product we need in this mini store to maintain it. as far as, I know your concerns now are, pharmacy, we're not gonna touch it for the next couple of years. As far as the pharmacy, and Mary's contracted for 3 years more, that's it. With their people. So probably by the time I was for contract ending with 50 white, we can approach again. I'm sure Johan's number is in there, and ask any other detailed questions you might have. I know this meeting was set last week. Since Aurora took up most of our time this week, we couldn't get you more detailed. Usually our outlines are very detailed. You know, so we have a few hours put this together for you, but this basically covers what we want to. So, I'm hoping to save access. And, let's get this done. Work, like I said, however you guys can. Our budget, we had a shortfall of 175 to 180,000 for full completion. Do made multiple ways. I guess then we can move some budgets around, some money around. But as of right now, we have a shortfall of $180,000.
Alrighty, any other questions? Hearing none, yeah, just to kind of, to pair what Sherry had mentioned, yeah, thank you for coming in and taking your time to make sure we are all kept in the loop about what was going on. Yeah, I think everybody is thankful for your generosity to our communities and making sure that, that the space is used and there's access to fresh food and childcare and things like that, so. You seem like hardworking, capable businessmen, so, definitely.
Retired Johan is the main executive. I'm the wrong person. I'm here to guide him through this whole process. He's a well-capable, he spent a year interning with my local corporation out in California, so he's well versed. So anything you need, he can answer a lot of the questions. I wanna make sure that we got our main point into the council. I'm sure there's gonna be more discussions in the coming week. Our ass is straight there, like I said, we have a shortfall, around $180,000 to be where we place our monies. We still have a shortfall of $180,000. So that means that's the purchase of the bowling alley, that's some help with Ben Franklin and demo costs, and I'm sure everybody's got the demo cost of a little over $500,000. So there's, you know, like I said, our shortfall is around 180,000. To get that, we should be able to complete the rest of the work. So we cut and slice and dice it, trying to move somewhere from this have to, you know, bills that we have to pay in the coming years, however we need to do it. You know, we leave you, Mr. Mayor, and the council if they're give us the best way to help us out, and we'd love that any help the community give us. Like I said, we're on a 0.5% margin, really 0.5%, one wrong step, and we're injecting more funds. So, you know, and, I like to see the communities come back together. I grew up here 50-some years, you know, on my family's here, so. I'd like to see the community come back to life and you know, operate again, go through the forest and have what it once did. You know, I was this is very busy. Anyway, so thank you for your time, and you know, we'll sit here and take it from there. You can have the phone number there.
Yeah.
We'll do a Facebook with anybody, any questions that anybody from Aurora Lakes has, or Walker has, we'll be more than happy to answer them. And once we start spreading, you know, befriending everybody, I know a few of you are in the council. So, and I know some of the council knows my family also, way back when. So. Yeah, I'm hoping to get this moving and get this along, so our time frame for completion is 2027, the full completion with the storage. I know feedback before we don't need more storage. But the reality is, I don't know what else to put there, we get our returns. We will have to hear it. You know, change it, like I said, change our plans. Our budget is now set. We have no more. Offer. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Say, yeah, you are free to stay if you wanna go, we can go too. But,
We like to play a little bit.
yeah, sounds good, feel free. So moving on from the guests and citizens forum, we'll move on to reports from staff, city administrator Wyberg.
I do have a business plan if anybody was interested. It's on my desk, we make copies, so they were available. I got that last week. I was in training last week down for release Minnesota cities and it was excellent. I'm glad I went. It was well worth it. I'm all for training Thursday, Friday this week, and traveling Wednesday and systems training. So crash courses and training for me last week and this week, so. And then, as you know, the offices are closed today and tomorrow. We're doing Zoom training on our software system. That's it.
Sounds good, thank you. Recreation director Peterson, library director Lammy.
It is September, obviously, and we are now open Saturdays from 10 to 2. And we invite you to come in. We also have on Thursday, this Thursday, Theater Thursday, we are showing the movie World Trade Center in honor of September 11th. The 13th, Saturday, from 10 to 2, we have Dale Whitehouse in, and he's going to be doing some coin appraisals. On the 16th, next Tuesday at 11 o'clock, we have Tuesday creations, and we are going to be doing a craft. We're going to be working with our Cricut machine. So you can come out for that. On Saturday, September 20th, from 11 to 1, we are going to participate in the Great North Star Read Together library. From those, anytime during those hours, pick up a book and read. We'll have treats available and drinks. September 23rd at 6 o'clock, we will be open. It's a Tuesday. We will be open until 7. But at 6, we're going to have St. Louis County Environmental Services and the Mesabi East you can lower your garbage bag bills and what you can recycle and where to take it. And then on the 27th, Saturday at 10:30, we have a sit and stitch. And that's just to get together, bring in some handiwork, and you can sit and visit for an hour, do your handiwork. And then in the next week or so, look for this in the mail. We have a mass mailing going out, just talking about all the services that we have available at the library for all of its residents. That's it.
All right, lots going on, thank you for that. Public Works Director Smethier.
Yeah, so at Public Works in the last couple weeks, Josh and I have been working with the contractor, getting some work done on our storm ditching. It went well. It was a new process that we're doing where we're grinding all the trees along the storm ditches, and then the second excavator comes behind him and cleans the ditches. We did the stretch from Back Bay to the arena, the back one-way road, and back. They were able to accomplish that in 2 days. We were impressed with how fast they got it done and the end result, what it looked like, so that went pretty good. We're gonna have them do some more as well. He's got the budget for it. So we'll have a few more days worth of work done. It'll be a process over the next couple years to get all our storm drain ditches around the town done. I would say we'll get maybe a quarter to a third of it done this year. So maybe like a 3-year process, and we'll have them all done. We are at Public Works, we are screening all our dirt piles this year. It's something we do about every 5 years. We had lined it up to do last year, but the contractor who had the screen plan, it had some damage to it right before we were supposed to get it, so that got pushed off this year. Now that's what we will be concentrating on solely this week, hopefully without interruption. So we'll get all our piles done and be back to fully stocked on dirt and get everything taken care of. Other than that, in the near future here, we'll be starting on winterizing, going on all our water lines, campgrounds, we've got a couple more weeks and we'll be rolling out lines to there, golf course, all the areas around town, starting winterizing. That's about it.
All right, thank you. Public Utilities Director Brenda.
Yeah, it's been kind of busy being, we're still short staffed, just me and Kelly. Just between operating both facilities, working with Jamie, the contractor, if he needs anything from us, Ken said doing the storm ditching stuff. Being we're short, we're trying to get ahead on some of our outside maintenance around the wastewater facility and start getting stuff winterized for there, just so it's not crunch time once we do finally get somebody in. And then now snowbirds are starting to kind of leave town, so we've had a few more shut offs, and then it seems like recently there's been, we've been having to go out because people have been having leaks in their houses and stuff, so that's been occupying our time as well, trying to get on them curb stops, and so it's been kind of busy in that aspect, but we're handling it well and moving right along, so.
Yeah, we appreciate the hard work and hopefully we can get that spot filled sooner rather than later, so thank you. EMS Director Olmsted.
Last week I finished the ambulance cost collection survey for the office of EMS, that's all completed, so that's for ambulance aid. Later this year. I believe, that's all finished, I did receive my plane ticket, so I am going to look at the ambulance. Recharge, I did put a request in.
I didn't see that.
I don't know if it was really that necessary that I do it since it's not really gonna cost us anything, but. I did it, just so all the paperwork and stuff,
Do you have someone going with you?
yes. A friend is going with because I can't find anyone with a passport. Sorry, man.
When do you go through that?
September 22nd, so I think we fly out of the cities at like 7, get there 11. The whole next day and then leave like at 6 the next morning, like I'm only there one whole. So, yeah, it's a quick trip, but whatever,
Yeah, check it out.
I'll do it, whatever it takes to make sure the new ambulance is how we want it, right?
Yeah, really taking a bullet for the city. By checking it out. We appreciate it. Do we have any idea when it's gonna be here?
I would assume shortly after that, I did get a picture a couple weeks ago, I got on assembly line and like they were doing, like it's an ambulance. But I suppose they were putting all the stuff inside it and stuff like that, and then I would assume they're gonna drive it here, so. I think it's like a 19.5 hour drive, so they'll drive it here and then take ours back. I assume. Is it gonna make it? No, that's not my problem. That's use some of the ground I'm done.
All right, well, that's exciting, thank you. City Attorney Lewicki?
Nothing bad.
All right, thank you. Moving on to reports from elected officials, Counselor Graham.
Yeah, on August 26th, I attended a grant writing workshop over in Chisholm at the Discovery Center, just to get, I've written some grants for the Joint Powers Board and other nonprofits I'm involved with, but. I'm hoping to try to utilize our 50,000 from First National in a lot of different ways where we can match a lot of those funds in different areas, so I just wanted to get a little more information, some tips on that. The Community Advisory Panel, the CAP meeting started, which are hosted by Minnesota Poverty and Range, so I attended that on September 4th. I do have some binders for Dave and Brent, you must be the backup one, so they gave us these nice 3-ring binders to hold all our meeting information, so I grabbed your guys's, and I have those I'll give to you also. And then the IRRR is sponsoring the State of the Range event on the 17th of this month, so I'm gonna attend that as well and see what they have to report on the state of the range for the last year. They just started doing them, so it was really interesting last year to kind of see where everyone's at, see what the other communities are doing and how they're faring with their budgeting and different stuff, so,
What's the date on that?
September 17th.
So Wednesday, right? I think
So.
doesn't matter.
I think so, I know we talked about it the last
Yeah.
meeting, that everyone gets invited.
Is it RSVP? Do you have to RSVP?
Yeah, there was an email form to just let them know who we're having to prepare for how many people, so. And that's all I have.
Perfect. Okay, you know who to go to for writing grants now? Counselor Jarvis.
Help.
Two things, I contacted the county a couple of times on the Bose School because of the non-appearance of demolition.
Yeah.
They have not responded to me on that, and Matt Royce talked to me the other day, I don't know if he talked to you, Dean, at all, questions about the deeds on Melbourne's.
Oh, Leeds,
Melbourne and Leeds.
there's the guy right there. Talking about the deeds on the, on Leeds backlots.
Yeah, so, yes, so the responses to the county have been provided. So we are still waiting to hear back from the county now on the next round of comments regarding the.
So the surveyors haven't approved the new corners that were,
Yep, so that information was pulled in. Together, and now we just need county approval, to look through, so it goes back to them for another round. If they have additional comments, they'll provide it to us, and in many cases, sometimes these turn into a cyclical scenario where it doesn't go on for a while, where they'll provide additional comments. And so, sometimes we don't know what those comments are gonna be, but we address as much as we can, so right now it's in the county's hands.
yeah, that's all I had.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
I'll be working with Jake on that too. I'll make sure we get this pushed through. So if you don't hear back from him, maybe you want me to leverage him or you like,
Yeah,
who's your contact at county? Do you have him?
I can pull that, and Alan's got that, but I've been checking in weekly on something, so.
And it can take a lot of time, a lot of time.
The initial estimates we had, in discussion was either gonna be later this fall or potentially early next spring, and we are trying to apply some pressure.
This spring, they told me late summer.
Right.
So,
Right. I think it kind of depends on if additional comments arise from the county, then it goes back into another kind of queue, so.
When you reached out to the county with just your employees or,
but it's the minerals department that is in charge of tax forfeit buildings, whether they're being demolished or sold off. And I talked to him once up at the school. He was very short and curt with me because he had been bothered by a lot of people in town. And the first conversation we had was okay, the second one was like, don't bother.
Sure.
So they have not responded to my phone call, several phone calls.
I did reach out to the county on that too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and she responded right away, but person that needs to respond hasn't responded immediately.
Yeah, so it was, my calls, like I said, they've been ignored. And I'm just trying to find out why the stall.
right? Yeah, other than turning inside of it, yeah, I haven't heard anything, so
Yeah.
maybe, which not time, maybe just find out or something, we can do that. All right, thank you for the update, Councilor Ekman.
So Dave and I went to the public safety board meeting earlier, Wednesday night, they're having a meeting at the high school because there's, an offender that has moved into Aurora, so just to keep the is roughly and some information. And that's about it.
Thank you. Councilor Matheson,
After last council meeting, I spoke to Brian down at the campground. We had that request, from the individual to use the shower system and, Brian basically said that unless we can come up with some way to deal with the bathroom issue, they are against it. The reason being, he He said all summer long, it was kicking random people out of the showers, out of the bathrooms, drug paraphernalia in the bathrooms. So he's got some major concerns, probably for looking into like next year, that, you know, we kind of touched base maybe a little bit on. Do we figure out a locking system for the doors and everybody gets a code or whatever it is, but he has concerns about allowing outside people in when they're dealing with so many outside people already that are just going down there and causing issues, so. I think that will be something that we'll have to bring up at a future meeting again, but
So currently there's no locks, they're just open all the time.
that's what it sounds like.
That's why these people are.
Yeah,
Get in.
yeah, and like you said, he's.
The same one we signed for the road projects with Shannon Sweeney to pursue to find the bond to get the bonds, for the temporary financing of the water treatment plant. There was supposed to be and then maybe it came, there was supposed to be a resolution on the docket too today, but that's coming from Freiberger to actually purchase the button or sell one. That has not come in, so we can't approve this tonight and at least get this out for us and keep the price to forward.
Sounds good. Everybody had a chance to read through this. Is there any questions or comments for anything for this? I think it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah, and then you already approved the project, you know, this.
Right.
The bond, unfortunately.
So yeah, we'll wait on that resolution from the five of the folks.
So it'll just be the opinion of David Brown and Associates that should be approved.
No, not hearing any comments or questions, I'll ask for a motion to approve the temporary financing as proposed by DDA in the amount of $1,690,000 for the engineering and design to be completed for connection with the modifications to the East Range water treatment facility. So we have a motion from Counselor Jarvis. Is there anybody that would like to second that?
I'll second.
The other second from Counselor Graham. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on to 11.2 Northland Constructors, laser reimbursement request. Is this something that?
Okay, fine.
Well,
You would.
yeah, so what happened was, very early in the project right here by Lucky Seven. Northland hit what used to, the water line that used to feed the old EMS building across the street from Lucky Seven. City, you know, I myself and Kelly, we had tried multiple times, we could locate the main, we could never find Lucky Seven service line. And we were told by previous, they weren't sure if it was abandoned or if it was just shut off at the curb stop across the road, we could never really find it. So what happened was late afternoon on the 14th, I believe it was, they ended up hitting that 2-inch line while they were trying to set sanitary sewer, so they had a laser down in the bottom of the pit. In hitting that 2-inch line, because it was after hours, it took a while for us city staff to get to the hole. And because the hole was filling so fast, they got the personnel out of the hole for safety reasons, obviously, and in doing so, it flooded their laser. Because it was an unmarked water line. That's why Northland's requesting us to buy the renewal. He did have tried to get it sent in and see if it could get fixed. He said it was sent back saying it's not, it can't be fixed. So the note that's on the back of that letter there is, his discount from Acme Tools, the Northland's discount for $4,496.38. Talking to Tina, I believe there might be some contingency money to that would help cover that as far as the project goes. You got any other questions, I guess? That's about what happened, so. It wasn't a lack of like, we just ignored it or nothing. I mean, we made multiple attempts. Kind of just was unfortunate how we found it, and a lot of water comes out of a 2-inch pipe when it's fully charged in a hurry, so. Like I said, after, maybe if it had been during hours, we could have got there a little faster, but you know, we were already at home and doing our thing, so it took a little while to react, and just for safety concerns, the lake ended up getting buried under about 3-4 feet of water down in their holes.
How have they been to work with so far?
Great. Yeah.
And like I said, that was one of the questions we have, some contingency.
When you say, oh, excuse me.
On that scale, project average, the contingency go with it.
When you say their discount, what kind of a price discount did they get from Acme Tools?
I believe the original cost was upwards of a little over $5,000. So I guess I don't know what they actually get for their construction discount or whatever, but I believe he said it was originally base cost is a little over $5,000, so.
And we have the money to cover it then.
Sounded like there's some contingency monies in place.
Wouldn't they be tax exempt even?
No, I'm not sure. Nor than the original tax.
Yeah, okay.
Could this be claimed on any kind of insurance?
I can sure find out.
I can see where the city could be responsible, but. Something like this on an insurance claim, but it's a loss. Definitely not planned for.
I know he's kind of hoping for some sort of answer after tonight. He's been using a borrowed one from another crew since this happened. So he's hoping that he can, because that quote is got on standby, ready to go as soon as he says pull the trigger on it, and then he can move first it and put it towards the project.
Yeah, I know on projects this large, there's always, you know, certain percentage of contingency funds for unexpected things.
But I
like
mean, if
this.
it's, even if it's okay, if we could still turn it into insurance.
That's what I was gonna
and see
say,
if
I mean, I
The city can get coverage. on
Yeah.
it.
would be okay with approving this, and then if we can get any kind of, claim for that, would help us out.
I could take there, I'll reach out to Eric, we'll leave. I mean, it just might.
On Joel, on your side of things, is there any perspective that you can provide on paying versus not paying it?
Yeah, I would wonder if they submitted it to their insurance, if you believe it was an abandoned line. Or duty to mark wouldn't exist like an active line. And so I don't automatically assume the city's responsible for damage to his equipment.
Right.
Barring an understanding that it was abandoned. So or considering the fact that it was believed to be abandoned.
Yeah, we weren't sure if it was where it was abandoned at, we could never find the actual standpipe or where the water line had ran to, and we weren't sure if there was one there or not.
And I also think they've got a reasonable duty of care in the work they're doing. And removing a valuable piece of equipment from a hole that's filling with water, I mean, maybe they couldn't.
Yeah, it did that pretty rapidly.
Yeah.
As far as that, but I think you're there too. I don't know if he turned it into insurance or not.
Yeah, typically what would happen there is they submitted their insurance, their insurance company can potentially seek to subrogate it to the city. My advice would be to have him do that for, I mean, when did this happen? He's not already submitted it?
August 14th, yeah.
Yeah, I would think you should submit that to his insurance. But that's my 2 cents.
This is sort of related, but Kenny, you've been here a while and have been involved in different projects. Is there anything that's happened sort of like this where somebody else's equipment has been damaged and?
Other than maybe. Nothing quite like this, I mean, something like broken piece of glass on a contractor's piece of equipment. Years ago. Angus Excavating might have been digging with one of their excavators and they go out there. You know, but again, I don't even recall if they submitted it to the city or the city's insurance or theirs to care of it. I don't really, it's been a long time. It's not the same type of digital license, it's
Well,
right, I mean, what I mean, it's not.
we did tell them, we weren't sure if there was, like, we told them there was an abandoned, or there used to be a building across the road there. So, I mean, I'm not saying the city's completely out, or that we're at fault, I mean, I prefer that we weren't, but. I just. He just asked if I could put it up to you guys and see what you thought.
Can we contact them and see if they cleaned it with their insurance? We don't want to double dip there and get
Right.
the equipment and get reimbursed.
The precedent should be for the city to just pay it out, right?
Right.
I think that they should submit it to their insurance, they can subrogate it to the city's insurance.
Yeah.
And go that would be that way they have people that are going to look into that, to make a determination of coverage.
Yep, and I can relay that to him as well.
Not that we don't appreciate the work that they've been doing, it's like it's quality
Oh,
work.
absolutely.
I guess that's the idea, one thing, I'm sure the relationship I would build with them, but then on the other hand, we don't make sure that if they can, and if not. So what should we do for motion with that? Denying,
Table it,
Can we table it to,
bring it up at the next, put it on the agenda for the next meeting, once we have their insurance information, if we can, or we're able.
I would recommend just denying it. Because you're not gonna take further action on it indirectly, if the intent is for it to be submitted through insurance.
okay,
So.
So it's processing.
right.
They just put it-
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of, in summary of that, so we'd look at a motion tonight to deny, the reimbursement request for Northland Constructors. And then, direct Dean to reach out to them for.
I need your, we'll work together.
Yep.
So just directing city staff to reach out to, Northland, just see if they've sent it to their.
We have a construction meeting with them at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning too, so.
Oh,
Who is your contact?
Jamie.
No.
all right, so motion to deny and then to, direct city staff to treat it. To figure out if the insurance can cover it. Is there a motion?
I'll make that.
Motion from Counselor Matheson, is there a second? Second from Counselor Jarla, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on to 11.3, max grade pay application number 11, in the amount of $140,000, $140,992.02. Two cents,
Project coming to an end. It's winding down. There's gonna be a couple big ones coming, more than a couple big ones coming yet, but. Yeah. We did receive our first check from the state for grant funds, so we're looking here. That was quite a process and quite a learning experience. But we got cash flow, so that's a good thing.
Nice, almost 74% done, so it's, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care anybody wants to talk, but if anyone wants to stop by or whatever, the boards are up.
Yeah, we got some issues with the boards, and that's why I really didn't bring anything up, but I don't wanna say anything, really know what's happening there, I mean, with our current build on our boards.
system used to have access points to locker room 5, locker room 6, and 4 locker rooms. Locker room 5. So. Once I find more of that.
So besides that, everybody went through the second class of training, you got your. I got, or both, or I got something, I don't know if I got yet from.
Oh, yeah, I see.
And then, when is he charging the system? First one?
I'm not 100% sure yet either, I haven't talked to him, but. Right now, we kind of plan on doing kind of a walkthrough on October 8th, I mean, I gained schedule already on October 17th. So. Hopefully, things this end 4% completed, because we think it's.
Well, that was 3 weeks ago, so it's quite a bit funny.
Slowly.
No, it's, I don't know, it's looking.
The parking lot, right?
Yeah. It's not. It's coming along, it's definitely a lot of work, give an eye every time when they fall back. In the golf course and just keep on having them. Keep open outlets, being able inside, and it's really nice.
All right, any other questions for anybody or comments? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the Max Gray pay request number 11 for the White Lakes Wellness Center renovation project in the amount of $140,992.02.
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Counselor Graham, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Counselor Matheson, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried, moving on to 11.4, ready? 5024, for fire department pension plan funding. Mel had came last time and spoke to this. Sounded like you needed a resolution to approve it. Anything else from Dean or Mel regarding this?
No, other than I took Joel's advice and I phoned the old one and replicated it,
No.
so. There was a resolution last time, you guys changed it as well, so.
Is there any other questions or comments for Dean or Mel or anybody?
The dollar amounts are right now, we double check with it. All right.
Yeah, you probably need 600. So on my end, I'll have to abstain, me being on the fire department. Jill will have to abstain being on the fire department also. So have that down, so there a motion to approve resolution 2025, motion from Counselor Jarlett, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Counselor Grams, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on to 11.5, resolution 2025-025, authorization for city administrator to seek funding. Am I speaking to this meeting?
You can, but basically what it is, as I found out very quickly and shared this with the training, that in order for me to even apply for a grant, there'd be a resolution from the council giving me permission to apply for a grant. So. I got to that point and I got kicked out of the system basically, so. So what I'm asking for is your permission to apply and just receive funds from the IRRB. And it'll probably be for the West Lower project, downstage, sanitary downstage enforcement, unless that. It's for that.
For the dump stations.
Well, this specifically, if everything else goes through, this would be specifically for relocation of the dump station from the current place where everybody's gonna cross to a proper dump station. Across the road.
Cause it's on private property, it's on the East Range automotive property.
And we're full of water for them as well.
Yeah.
And with that, it's not that portion of the project is under 600. So we can. So that's what I'm applying for, grant for. There'll be more. It's for that project overall.
And just a little reminder, where the whole project is at. Don't we have a spot where we want to do anything or
Well, we're at a spot where we're receiving
receiving
funding.
funding?
Did we want to get reimbursed from that FEMA money that?
Yeah, we've been denied by FEMA a couple times, or been appealing it, still hoping, but.
Trying to get the appeal. I don't think there's much chance we're gonna get anything out of it. The pictures that you sent me didn't help me.
Yeah.
So there's huge section of losses in that culvert, so it's not good. Most of them try to get that up to you, Phil. Fire.
All right, so looking for a motion to, approve resolution 2025-025 authorization, for the city administrator to seek funding from the IRRD for the reconstruction of West River and the relocation of the RV dump station to the east side of the street. So, a motion from Counselor Jarvis, is there a second? Second from Counselor Hickman, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on to 11.6. Looking for applications for the part-time seasonal position of the Zamboni operator. So yeah, getting to the point where hockey is gonna be starting up soon, so we'll need a person to operate the Zamboni. Anything to add to that, Bucky?
Not so much, I mean. I got Casey for a while, only got Freeland after, usually after January, you know, I got those guys that already have been in the system for a long time and know how to use it, but. With me, I got 2 kids in hockey and I don't want to be on there and all week long, and right now I'm even with the golf course, I'm getting to the golf course, so I need more help. So I'm looking to hire probably at least 4 guys, I think. So.
You cannot just say guys, come on.
Individuals.
Maybe got more individual qualified candidates.
Hire 4 dudes.
Strike that from the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, correct. So looking for a motion to approve the posting for the Zamboni operator.
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Counselor Grams, is there a second?
One sec.
We have a Sue. I'll give it to Matheson, there's been a lot coming from driver. Sorry. Wait, we'll get a second to Counselor Matheson, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion is carried. So that's the last piece of the agenda, so we'll move on to adjournment, is there a motion for that?
Make that motion?
Motion by Counselor Grams, second from Counselor Jarvis, all those in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you. Oh, man.